friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I just wanted to sit down and do a little market recap. I attended my second market ever. The first one was just a small pumpkin festival last fall, and it went okay. It didn't seem like a lot of my type of customers. Lots of bounce houses and stuff like that. This market was more of an art fair, which I was a little intimidated by, but I decided to apply for it and see if I got in, and I did. So it was a juried event. I believe it was the 63rd annual. I think it was 63rd annual Delray Affair down here in Delray, Florida, off of Atlantic Avenue. Really fun, beachy community, a lot of shops and restaurants and everything right by the ocean. Really pretty area. It's really nice to walk around and everything. It's a 3-day event, and the booth fee was $650. And so that was like, it was a little scary. I was a little bit nervous. It was kind of a gamble of if I would get my money back and everything. So I just wanted to go through. I did get my money back, spoiler alert. I ended up doing well. I met my booth fee probably halfway through the first day, which I was thrilled with. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got there really early Friday morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. And sorry, somebody's doing construction, neighbor. And so they were long days, but they were fun. My mom helped me, and it was good. So I just wanted to go over what sold well, what didn't. Yeah. So I did obviously a single tent. I had and I'll try to put some video in while I'm doing this. I had a 6-foot table, 2 6-foot tables. I brought a 4-foot table also, but I wanted to make sure that we had some areas in the shade and that we could sit down and cool off and everything. So I'll show you the video of how I had everything laid out. I was pretty lucky that my neighbor on the other side, it was actually a T-Mobile truck, and they had bought like 4 or 5 different spots, like all in one strip. And they used the one that was next to mine as like a hangout area. So they put a few tables for people just to hang out. So it was really great that coming from that one side was completely open. And so people walking by could see my booth and see my setup. And I think that helped a lot to draw people in. Okay, so things that sold well, all of my Monstera stuff. So I had a lot of spoon rests and bowls and dishes. I think all but like 2 smaller pieces of Monstera sold really well. A couple mugs that had Monstera stuff. That's the green leafy things that I really like. Those sold very well, very fast. Next, mugs. Mugs, 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 mugs. I was getting a little concerned because mugs were going very fast. It seemed like wheel thrown mugs were more sought after than the hand built mugs. People liked, and I'm using some of this for future knowledge for myself also, so that I remember. It's a great way to document, because I'll forget. The mugs with shells on the bottom, like the beachy typed mugs, really were very popular. They tended to like no sayings versus having the little tiles with the sayings on them. All the starfish and shells, seahorses, the mermaid stuff, anything with a mermaid went so fast. Like first day, Friday, gone. Also, the butter dishes. Both of my butter dishes sold the very first day. Brie bakers, the brie bakers that I make did really well. They were consistent. They didn't fly off the shelves, but each day I sold a couple of them. Spoon rests also were very, very popular, especially the shell beachy ones. My chip and dip platters, bowls, all of them sold. They were very, very popular. The confetti mugs that I had made, all of them sold except one. The blue inside, I did a couple with teal inside and then some with yellow. The teal sold first before the yellow did. The teal was more popular. All of the large serving platters, all of those sold. But not my big deep bowls. I had a couple hand built big deep bowls and neither of those sold, but the platters did. My little sand dollar trinket dishes, those all sold, especially the ones that were made out of porcelain that I just dipped in clear. Those were very, very popular and sold right away. Also, I did these little flower, I guess they're little trinket dishes like for earrings or rings. They're really tiny, but the multicolors, those were very, very popular. There were quite a few men that stopped by the booth and they really liked like the cool, interesting type glazes. And they all liked handles that were a bit bigger that they could fit 4 fingers in. They didn't like the kind that, the question mark kind. They liked the more, like you get at Target, with the 4 fingers. They really liked that. People also liked the thumb holder. I had a few with a thumb and they really liked those and they asked for more of those. Let's see. So believe it or not, I put out a couple of my ocean beachy Christmas trees and the smaller one sold first day, super popular. I had some not older ones. I had some taller ones, bigger ones, and a lot of interest. I think I probably priced it too high because there was a lot of interest, but nobody bought those. And I had those priced at 120 for the big one, and I think 65 or 70 for the smaller one. And the smaller one went like that. So I think I'll probably lower the price just a little bit, and those would sell. Okay, so things that didn't sell very well, cups, like tumblers, non-handled cups, didn't sell. I think I sold maybe 1 or 2. Everybody wanted a mug. Like I said before, the big bowls, the big deep bowls, those didn't sell very well. Also, I had like a bunch of little bowls with wooden spoons. Those didn't sell either. I don't know. Also, none of my Easter stuff sold. I was kind of surprised. I had a few plates that said Happy Easter. I had my egg trays. I had a tray that said He is risen, and I had some little bunny spoon rests. Nothing. Not one. Well, that's not true. One of my friends bought a plate that said Happy Easter. My cheese boards. None of my charcuterie boards or cheese boards sold. And I had the little knives with it and everything. A lot of people liked my cheesy cheese board. I've got a video of that, I believe. And a lot of comments on it, but nobody bought. I also had some just plainer white mugs. Oh, okay, Daisy. Some plainer white mugs, white tumblers. Those weren't very popular at all. It seemed to be that people liked beachy, they liked color, which is so fun because that's definitely my aesthetic. I think sometimes I feel a little I don't know. I see some of the other stuff at markets and whatnot with the single glazes, and they're so elegant and they're so beautiful. And then I've got like all this color and drips and shells and all the things. But people liked it, and that was a really good feeling. It was a really, really nice feeling. I also had some really special people stop by. There was a family that stopped by that was at the first market, and they saw that I was going to be at this, and they came and stopped by and say hi. And also a couple of you guys from YouTube. Cecilia, she came by to say hi, and that was amazing. I didn't get a picture with her. I should have done that. And then she actually has her own YouTube channel, and I'll link that in the description. She does these cool journals, which is pretty awesome. And then Miss Laura came by to see me, and I'll put a picture right up here of Laura. That was so fun that she stopped by and I got to take a picture of her. Hi, Laura. So it was really nice. It was really, really well done. It was very well organized, which I would hope for 650 bucks. I would probably do it again next year. We've got kind of a busy fall, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I've got a Christmas in July market in North Carolina, West Jefferson, North Carolina, in early July. So that will be fun. And yeah, so it was good. And I got a lot of my merchandise out. And the Christmas in July is only a 1-day event, which feels it feels like nothing compared to the 3-day. So that's good. So I will leave you guys with a little bit more footage of the show. And thanks for joining me. I hope this helps. Oh, you know what? I wanted to go over what I thought was successful. Having that side open where people mainly were coming from west to east, having that one side open, I think was really, really helpful so people could see the tables. It was very open. They felt like they could come in and look without feeling pressured. There was a lot of people that wanted to talk pottery. How did I make it? How do I glaze? How did I choose the colors? Which, I love. I love talking pottery. I'm kind of an introvert when, like in regular life, but pottery I could just talk about all the time. I'm glad I didn't set up the other table. If I would have had 3 tables in there, it would have been too tight. It would have been too claustrophobic. And I think with pottery, people are afraid they're going to knock something over, or so having that extra space was really helpful. Having different levels. I had these wooden crates that I stack up on top of each other, and I screw them together so they can't topple over. And I put things inside the crates, on top of the crates, on the side. I also used plate racks that you can get at any craft store or Amazon. So I had things upright instead of laying them flat on the table. I had them like boom, 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 boom. And then also I did it by color. And I think that makes what I have, because I do a lot of one-offs. I don't do a lot that, um, I don't make a dozen of one type of piece. I get too bored doing that. So to make things look a little bit more cohesive, I did it by section and by color. So if you'll notice on the video, I started with like the green Monstera stuff, and then I worked my way through more of the white, and then the multicolored type, Eastery type colors, which changed into the blue beachy colors. And I think keeping everything in that color ranges really helped make it look nicer, and so that it didn't look like a yard sale with like one of this, one of this, one of this. Um, yeah, I think it helps it make it look a little bit more put together. Also having like little items with the pieces. So I stopped at Trader Joe's and I got a few little flowers and put them in the vases so people could see, oh, that's a little bud vase, or oh, that's what that's for. Also, for the brie bakers, I have a little cheese knife that I put with it, and I think that's helpful for people to see, like, what can I do with it. You would think you would know what to do with items, but they really don't. So it's very helpful. I also put the packaging for the brie, the brie, like the cardboard container that the brie wheel comes in. I put that inside one of the bakers so that you could actually see, oh, it fits, that's what that's for. And I also printed out instructions on how to cook with it and things like that. The mug tree, I call it a mug tree. It's like a display that's upright. It's got 3 sides. That is like a lifesaver. I can put so many mugs. I use these hooks that I got off Amazon. I got it off of Marketplace, so I'm not sure where you could buy them new. I'm sure you could find them though. And it stands up independently. It's very heavy. And I put these hooks on it. I actually dipped the hooks in a rubberizing material. I will put a picture of it up here. And that keeps the handles from sliding off. So it's like a gripper material, rubber gripper, and it keeps them from sliding around. So I feel like that keeps it nice and safe. And I also put the magnets and stuff. The magnets actually went really well. The fruit, the cherries and the strawberries, watermelon, the little fruity ones were really popular. Those went really well. What else? I think my biggest shock, my biggest surprise was the tumblers, like the wine glasses and tumblers. I mean, maybe I have them priced too much. I don't know. But they didn't sell very well. I was a little surprised at that. I was happily surprised. All the chip and dips and my big serving platters and trays, those sold really well. So I think that's it. If I can think of anything else, I will pop back on and let you know as I'm editing. And I may show you a video with a voiceover. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. But I hope this helps somebody. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you later. Bye.